Today I'm going to start working on updating the flooring in the motorhome. I'm going to do sheet vinyl in here, and I'll explain why I'm doing that in a minute. But first I'll kind of go over the areas I'm going to be working on. So I've decided I'm going to leave the carpet in the bedroom, and I'm also going to leave the carpet in the entryway. I went back and forth on what to do with the entryway. I've decided just to leave the carpet because I plan on putting an entry mat, and I would have the entry mat no matter what flooring I did. So to spend all the time and money putting sheet vinyl in this area just to cover it up with an entry mat seemed kind of like a waste. And I also think it's a little bit more comfortable having carpet up here because this is where you spend all your time traveling. So I'm going to leave it up here. Eventually down the road, I will recarpet the entryway and recarpet the bedroom. Probably do a grayish, brown kind of carpet that matches everything. But that'll be a project down the road. It's middle of summer, so I don't want this project to take up too much of my time because I obviously want to get back out and get camping. So that will be a project for this winter or in the spring. For now, I'm just going to do sheet vinyl, and I'm going to do it in the living room, through the kitchen, into the bathroom area. Winnebago decided it would be a great idea to put carpet in front of your shower and your sink. So sheet vinyl will cover all that, get rid of that, and then we'll also continue the sheet vinyl into the toilet room. So those are the areas I'm going to do, and I will start explaining now why I'm going with sheet vinyl versus other flooring options. Okay, sorry if there's any background noise. I started up the generator and turned the AC on because it's 100 degrees outside and it's starting to get a little toasty in here. But I'll explain why I'm doing sheet vinyl. So there's tile and engineered hardwood floor. A lot of people put those in, a lot of higher-end motorhomes have those, and they're just a little too expensive for a 21-year-old motorhome, and they're also very thick. The thickness of your material that you decide to install will play a big factor in your slide out coming in and out. You don't want your slide to catch on that or to gouge it up, and so I eliminated those for my options. The next option, and probably the most popular right now, is vinyl plank flooring. There's a lot of mixed feelings on vinyl plank flooring. Some people install it, love it, have no issues. Some people install it and regret it later on down the road. Some of the issues people are having with it has to do with all the gaps and seams. With the change in humidity and the change in temperature throughout the year, the vinyl plank floor can separate, causing gaps, and also the vibrations and the bouncing around going down the road can cause the seams to come apart. Another issue people had was when the slide out was coming in and out, it was scratching and gouging up their vinyl plank floor. So I decided it just wasn't worth the risk. There's a chance I install it, it looks great, no issues, but I would hate to spend the time and the money installing it just to have it look like crap 3 months down the road. Sheet vinyl felt like the safest option. It's also the cheapest option. It's completely waterproof because it's just one big sheet, and I plan on caulking around the edges too to really make sure it's waterproof. And it's also thin. Going back to the slide out again, people are having issues with their floor being too thick or it being scratched up, and I feel like putting in a thin material would eliminate any possible issues with the slide out. There's also no gaps, no seams to separate or open up due to temperature and humidity, so it just seemed like the best option for my situation. I do recommend researching your specific motorhome and the floor you'd like to install because there are a lot of factors that play into it. Do not just go to Home Depot, buy something that looks cool and throw it in here and hope it works. Do some research because it's not as simple as you would think. Originally I thought I would just get vinyl plank, throw it in here, it's gonna look great. Started reading and found out it's not that easy, it's not that simple. So do some research before you do your floor. Every motorhome, every camper is different. Maybe you don't have a slide out. Maybe you live in yours year round or have climate controlled storage where you don't have to worry about the temperature and the humidity. So once again, do research. So I'm gonna get started ripping this up. I'll cut the carpet out that I'm taking out, get rid of the peel and stick floor in the kitchen, get rid of the carpet in the bathroom, and then I'll also check for subfloor damage. You want to make sure you repair that before you put the new floor down. So we'll get started ripping all this up and we'll go from there. So my phone ran out of storage while I was videotaping removing the old floor, but I think it got enough footage to kind of show you guys the process. I got the carpet cut back there, cut up here in the front. I removed all the furniture. The tables that were in here just screw into the wall, so those were pretty easy to remove. The peel and stick that was in the kitchen, I was able to just take up by hand. It wasn't very difficult. So now I'm gonna make a template. I'm gonna take a big roll of construction paper. I believe that's what you call it. Usually comes in 36 inches wide by 150 foot roll. I'm gonna roll it out in here, duct tape it all together, and that way I can use that as my guide. And I'll take that paper template, set it on the sheet vinyl, cut it all out, leaving myself a little bit extra room. And then I should be able to bring the sheet vinyl in here and set it into place, do a little bit more trimming, and then work on getting it glued down. Okay, I got the paper all rolled out, got it taped together. This is the paper that I used. This is what I was talking about earlier. It looks a little rough back here, but I just used scrap pieces of paper and tried to get it to fit in where I needed it to go. Toilet room. So now the plan is to take the paper all up in one piece, set it on the sheet of vinyl, and then cut it out. I'll leave myself a little extra room when cutting it, probably a 1/2 inch, just so I have some room to play with. But otherwise, that is the plan. All right, we got the paper out. Surprisingly, nothing ripped, so that's pretty good. Got it laid out on the sheet of vinyl, and then used some extra vinyl planks I had laying around the house to keep everything in place. So I'll move the paper around a little bit to get it where I want it and make sure everything's lined up straight, and then we'll start making our cuts. All right, we got the vinyl in here. When I made my cuts in the driveway, I left myself some extra room. So when I got the vinyl in the motorhome, I just took a razor blade and trimmed up along the edges, and the refrigerator and bathroom. And got it to fit perfectly. All the gaps along the edges will be covered up with quarter round or caulk, so not worried about that. Otherwise, it's looking really good. I was very intimidated by this project just because if you make one bad cut cutting this vinyl out, the whole sheet could be junk. You'd have to start over. But I took my time, got it to fit right, and it's looking really good. So next we will start gluing it down. Okay, so you can see we have the glue down on this side. when you put the glue down, you want to leave it for a little bit. So when you touch it, it's tacky. You don't want to touch it and have it leave residue on your finger. So when it's tacky, then you can roll the vinyl back over, work out any air pockets that you might have, and that's about it. All right, the floor is all done. I put quarter round in. Also put in my aluminum transition strips. Caulked around the shower. Looks really good. One thing I did that I forgot to mention before is I also put aluminum transition strip and seam binder where the sheet vinyl ended under here, so that when the slide out comes in, it doesn't catch on the edge of the sheet vinyl and peel it up. So seam binder under here, and then under the couch I did a carpet to vinyl transition strip, same one I did in the front, because at the factory I believe they install the flooring first and then the slide out room, so the carpet goes all the way under the couch. So seam binder under the cabinets, carpet to vinyl transition strip under the couch. Otherwise, the project's all complete. This wasn't a super detailed video. If you want to know how to install quarter round or how to install vinyl glue, there's other videos out on the internet and YouTube for how to do that. I just wanted to give a quick walkthrough of how I did this and how I put sheet vinyl in the motorhome. So I hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching.